it's not just about the house. It's beyond buying a house. It's about your lifestyle.
If someone has already made all the mistakes, they've learned all the lessons.
Yeah.
So they know the right people.
Correct.
People who will do it, so you don't have to call them back to redo what they have already done, chase them around. This is just time wasting, right? And while you're wasting that time, you might think it's cheaper, but on the long run, you end up spending more than you budgeted for because you chose the wrong person.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of podcast where we share stories of people who have bought either their first property, their second home, or investment property, and we're here to talk about their journey. In this episode, we have another client who has bought property using announced property service, but we're going to talk about their journey so you can hear firsthand from them. Osita, good to have you in the studio. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Good.
Good. So Osita, you are no longer a first-time buyer.
No.
But how does it actually feel, owning your home? I mean, how does it feel to, what's the feeling like now that you've owned your home? What's that feeling like?
It feels good. It's nice to have a place that you can call your own. You can make any adjustments you want to make it more homely. It's a very good feeling. I think everyone should have that feeling. So it's a privilege.
And that's good. Now, a lot of time when it comes to like home ownership, people have like different views about, do you own, do you buy a home, or do you keep on renting? Buying a home sometimes is a liability. Renting gives you flexibility to move whenever you want, But before we jump into that, why don't you just tell us a bit about yourself? Who is Osita?
I'm a software engineer, a father, husband, an African. I think, in a nutshell, that's how I'll summarize who I am.
Yeah, I mean, when you said married, I mean, I remember coming to your wedding. I mean, when you talk about the most exciting, fun yet simple wedding I've ever been to, it was so amazing. It was the simplicity of the wedding says a lot about you. You're a very simple guy.
Very simple.
You don't like to complicate things.
No.
So now that we know about you, obviously you software engineer. Why did you then decide to buy a home? I mean, you both you're married. You both earn decent income. Why not continue renting?
I think owning a home, there are financial benefits to it. When you're renting, you don't. I can understand people would say it gives you flexibility, but I think perhaps it depends on the circumstances of the person who is talking. So if you're someone who doesn't have a family, you're in a particular place for a short period of time, then that would make sense. But if you're someone who, at the time, we're starting a family, so we knew that we needed a base and a structure for our kids, a place that our kids can grow up, a safe place, community. And if you want something like that, then it makes sense having a home, because kids like structure, a place where they know they can always go back to. And then you have the option of doing it up, the way you like without seeking permission from a landlord.
Yeah.
So those are the benefits, and that was the main reason why we decided to get a place.
Nice. Now, for those who are watching and listening, what did you guys put in place to get you ready to become homeowners?
Our finances, we had to make sure. I'm saying we, to be fair, I purchased the home.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that I had the finances that I felt that I needed. And I also had an idea of where I wanted to buy the home, because I was putting family first. So I wanted a place that is safe, a place close to good schools, in a place where, we felt we're going to have a good community around us, because I think it's important. So apart from the finance, making sure that the place where we were searching for a home suited our needs. Those were the considerations that we had.
Okay. And when you started that process, was it actually easy saving for a home? Because it's something that, a lot of people out there, they have goals of becoming homeowners, despite what's happening right now in the economy, because people see that stability. Like you mentioned, you can do up the house to your own taste, and also you don't have a landlord chasing you or telling you, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't change this color, you can't do that.
Yes.
But was it a struggle for you to actually put money aside, or did you have a system in place to ensure that you remained disciplined while you were saving for a home?
I think it's easier to save for me. It's easier to save for something that you need, not you want, you need. And to be honest, I should have been able to buy a home 15 years ago. So it wasn't more about the finances. And I think maybe, these are struggles that other people might have because they think it's complicated and they don't know the details about it. And they don't have people who know the detail and can communicate those details to them about what they need to own a home. So perhaps they'll be thinking they need more than they actually do. So they they keep putting it off.
Yeah.
Say, for example, if I had met you 10 years ago and, given our relationship and, the wealth of knowledge you have, if I had had conversation and you say, look, this is something you can do. These are the steps. This is what you need. I think it's something that I would have done earlier on. So I think people might struggle because of their perception of what it takes to own a home. They might think it requires more than it actually does.
But at the moment we're in a digital age. There's loads of content online. If you go on YouTube right now and type in how to buy a house, you're going to get thousands of videos, pop up, the steps, what you got to do. So with that information out there, you go on Google, like online, there's everything telling you how to do it.
True.
Why do you think it's still a challenge for people to for some people, not everyone, for some people to get started? Because like I said, the contents are online, but when it comes to actually starting the process, like because you mentioned something like, you might actually not need that much, but if you have someone to guide you, you can have a structure in place. So do you think, because I'm sure you probably have some peers as well who still don't have their home yet, but they're earning a good income.
Yes.
But there's that aspiration to, okay, you know what? I would like to have my own place. So do you think there's a struggle right now with people having all the content online, but still not making that first move towards home ownership?
I think it depends on the circumstance of the person. And you're right, there is a lot of information, and sometimes you can have information overload. And not every information is quality information. You also have to trust the person you are listening to or watching a video from. And I do see a lot of companies advertising. They can help you, show you how you get on the property ladder. And to be honest, some of them look dodgy. But perhaps I think what might help is if there is a structured way. Yes, there is information on the internet you can search, but I think if there is a structure to it, and I've seen this, some companies have been very good in adding that structure in their business process, where they not only tell people how to go about it, but say they have an app, that can support that journey.
Yeah.
Because everyone is different.
Correct.
And people process information differently as well. But I think if they had some sort of app that would guide that process, whether it's from savings to the processes of, getting mortgage advisors involved and the whole process that one has to go through, what tax you need to pay, and maybe that would add. Maybe that would help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I think, like you said, it could actually help some people, because what I've seen from experience is when I come across people and I talk to them, they'll tell me, oh, they've been watching this online, they've done this, but it's just, I think it's that, I don't want to say fear, or should I say fear of the unknown. What if it goes wrong?
Yes.
Because on the flip side, I've heard stories of people who have bought their property and the horror stories, my goodness. So you can imagine when they share that with their peers, they're thinking, okay, I'll still wait. I'll just keep saving, no, I'll keep saving. So you've decided, okay, you want to buy, and you've got the funds in place, you know the area, there was a plan, which is good. I mean, talking to you, you're a very structured person. There was a plan in place. Why did you then decide to approach a company like mine to go ahead with your home purchase?
I would say from experience.
Yeah.
There's this book called Acres of Diamond. It's a very good book to read. Pretty old. But one of the lessons is if you want to purchase a diamond, don't go to a cobbler. If you want to purchase a home, go to someone who has a good reputation, because although they would charge you for their service, but you would end up saving a lot more. For me, my time is precious. So I don't want to be going back and forth with, the mortgage advisor. I don't want to go back and forth looking for the home that I want. I want someone who, while I'm working and, hustling, the person is handling all that for me.
Leverage.
Exactly. So when you have someone who is adept at finding places, knows the right people to talk to, it makes it easier. So it means that I can focus on doing my work while this specialist is focused on doing the work for me to get the home that I want. So it saved me a lot of time. I mean, if I was going to different locations to look at buildings myself, that's time that I'm taking away from my work, which is expensive. So I'd rather someone who is a specialist in that area or is adept at doing that thing to do it while I, continue with the work that I know how to do. So I think it's more efficient and you get a lot more out of it. Time, like I said, is important to me. But also the quality. You meet people. Sometimes, if you remember, we got the place at the peak of demand.
Jeez, we're going to go into that. We're going to go into that.
Yeah,
man. Crazy. So let's actually deep dive into your journey of owning your first home. The property market was crazy. Like, it was. and there's a reason why we're both laughing. Like, we were searching for properties for you guys, and obviously the market was quite high. It was a seller's market.
Yeah,
it was a seller's market,
was.
And there was queues of people. When I remember when we booked the viewing, and you pull up, and you're like, and you're looking like, is that? It's like, bruh. So okay, we're just gonna wait. We and sometimes you're like, oh, we're down the road. I'm like, it's cool, it's okay. Oh, but my viewing is at 10:00. It's fine. You're not gonna see it. You don't. There's like 5 people ahead of you.
Exactly.
And we viewed we viewed specific houses that we know, like, because obviously, like you said, when you have someone there to support you, you don't just view everything. You're viewing for you specifically. You wanted something you can make home. Like, you were very, adamant that you wanted a property that you can turn into your own, a property you can add value to. So the garden, for example, was quite important to you, because starting a family. You wanted to be able to like park your car in a safe place, not too worried. But the environment, I think, for you was such a big thing. Like, you wanted a place where at least I can talk to my neighbors.
True.
Coming from London.
Oh yeah.
I'm not against people. I'm not
Yeah,
against
yeah,
Londoners.
yeah.
Before you guys start saying what you trying to say, I'm in London. I'm in London myself. Grew up in London, but
Yes.
but you wanted that was you were so detailed, because that's what we do for our clients. We ask you questions. It's not just about the house. It's
True.
beyond buying a house. It's about
Yes.
your lifestyle. Because if you just focus on buying the house, then you lose part of the lifestyle that you actually wanted.
True.
The house must fit your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And when we were doing viewings, my goodness me, there was queues of people. And at one point, I'm sure you were probably thinking, how are you even going to negotiate? Like, how are you guys even going to negotiate for us? Because push back a little bit, we got you guys the mortgage, we got you guys the AIP, and we made sure, again, it was, even when we got you the mortgage, it was something suited to your lifestyle, because you were thinking, okay, I need this term and this period of time so that I can do this. So that flexibility was there. You weren't just saying, one thing I really enjoyed working with you, it wasn't a case of there it is, it's, oh no, what do you want, Osita? Okay, this is what I need right now. Like you said earlier on, it wasn't about the want, it's about the need. The need was so important for you. We got you the our power team got you the mortgage, and we're searching. And let's talk about that process. What was that process for you like? Going, getting the properties booked on your behalf and viewing properties. What was it like for you? Were there like any kind of like, oh my goodness me, are we actually going to get property? Because like I said, it was the market was just insane.
True.
And while we're negotiating in your behalf, people were we're talking about 10, 20K above then.
Yeah.
But then I would say to you, because we can see ahead of time.
Yeah.
So share, what was that viewing process like for you?
Like you said, it was a seller's market. So sellers had options.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think, I learned from that process is, for someone who isn't familiar with the market, it's easier for them to go beyond the asking price, and because there's competition for property.
Yeah.
And having you say, oh no, this is too much, right? It comes from your experience, because you've experienced, you're adept at what you do, so you know what is worth the price. And we had people coming in, and don't forget, there are two things that were happening during that period. There were a lot of new time buyers. Yeah. People that have saved money after COVID.
After COVID,
they had the money.
They were, hey, we were locked down. You couldn't go out. You couldn't go to the shops to spend your money. So there was loads of money.
Loads of money. And people were buying emotionally as well.
I'm gonna jump into that. Now, do you remember there was a property we went to view, and I was there, and I got there before you guys. And then I remember one of the buyers came, and I remember telling you they parked. I think you probably saw it. They parked their massive Range Rover right in front of the house. I think it's coming to your mind now. It's coming to your house. Yeah. The house was nice. It was done up. And when I got in there, I actually killed my girls this time. I brought my kids. I brought my girls in there because I always like to get them involved in what Daddy's doing. And I remember the agent put him to the side like, Moses, can you just wait there, please? I want to talk to these guys.
Yes.
Because they came from London. They were selling their house. And, and the conversation they were having, and the agent was telling them, man, if you want a chance of getting this property, it wasn't like offering even, let's say, $2,000 above asking price or 5. They were pushing them to like 10, 15, even closer to 20. And then I called you guys like, yeah, just calm down. Don't say much, but observe. You guys walked in. You didn't even park your car in front of the house. You parked your car on the side, and you saw this big Range Rover, just like, yeah, that's like, I've got money. And that agent was like, so already the agent's thinking, that's my buyer right there. Anyone that comes in here, because they were going to get that much of this client. Yes. Emotion was flaring up because I was in there. I observed it. The wife was like, oh, baby, this house is beautiful. This is us. So they were in the kitchen. They were talking. They were having a conversation. You guys walked in. They told you, wait on the side. Just wait on the side. Have a look around. You know how they, what they do. Go have a look around.
Yeah.
Just say, I'll be done. I'll be with you in a minute. And I just said to you, just stay cool. We looked at it. Obviously, that they had, they did some refurb in their house. It was a lovely house, lovely location. But I just told you guys, no. I don't even remember. I didn't share with you that they had sold it, and the price was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Now, people were not aware or didn't see any oversight that what if interest rates was to go up. People weren't thinking about that.
Yeah.
People weren't thinking about that.
Absolutely, no.
People were just buying.
Because it was low at the time.
It was so low. But, oh my gosh, it was so low. But the emotion in place, like, we viewed quite a few houses and there was just, people were buying with so much emotion. Now, let's come to the one that we got for you guys. So, we saw this property. There was a queue. Literally, there was to your neighbor now, there was a queue, like, waiting. And it wasn't like the best looking property. I mean, when you saw the picture, you're like, huh? Like, it's like, Moses, I want to buy a home. I want to buy a home. But when I saw that property, I just saw you guys. I was like, this is home. Because of the vision, because of the potential that it had, and also the opportunity for you to turn it into something you love, which was something in the back of your mind that you also wanted to experience. When we saw it, you came down. It wasn't the kind of property that when you open the door, you go, wow.
Wow. No, of course. True.
It wasn't that wow. It didn't have that wow factor. But you came in. What made you go for that property? Because we bought that property as a first-time buy from auction with a mortgage.
Yes.
And we did it for you in 56 days. Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
In that crazy market.
I know.
And I'm sure one of the agents said to me, like, are you sure this is going to be done? I was like, yeah, we'll get it done. Like, Moses, are you actually sure you guys can pull this through? Because obviously they know what we do. But they were just thinking, you're helping the first time buyer to buy property and using a mortgage. And you have 56 days to complete. I was like, let's go. Let's do it. The pressure was on us, not on you.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
what actually made you go for that particular property?
I think it met the criteria we had for, things we're looking for, the environment. We liked that it was in a decent environment. We liked that it had a number of rooms we wanted. Aside from the aesthetics, it was quite it's a decent home. It's a solid house. Yeah. Basically, it had its own garage rather. A decent sized garden, which was very important to us. But it had potential as well, because he had people who had done loft conversion. If it's something we want to do in the future, that was something that we could easily do without worrying about the council rejecting plans and stuff. And we also, to be fair, we didn't want a house that was already done and all you need to do is move in. To be honest, even if I bought a house that didn't require a lot to be done, I still was, I was still going to clean it up.
Yeah, do it to your own taste.
Exactly, because you have family moving in there. So those were the things we're looking at. It's key. The community is important.
Yeah.
You don't want a place where the house, let's say you got it for a decent price, and just as you wake up in the morning and open your door, you see a crackhead run out. No disrespect, but you have kids, right? You're planning to start a family, so safety, was very important to us, and being able to have access to good daycare, schools,
Shopping center,
which
I know,
you
right?
found that
Like, it's just down the road.
Yeah,
like
I know.
one of the biggest shopping centers in
I
UK,
know,
like
I
just
know.
down the road from your house.
It is
crazy.
It is. Oh no, it's a blessing. I mean, yeah. What are the odds?
Bumped into your wife several times at the shopping center.
I know. But it's a really, really good house, and haven't been there for more than a year now.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah, and I think this is, for those who are watching or listening, this is so important. And if you notice, we keep going back into it. It's not just about buying the house, because there's this thing of I want to buy property, I want to get my home, but it's beyond the house itself.
Yes, true.
It's really beyond the house itself. We got to speak to both neighbors.
Oh yes.
At one point, I mean, we're gonna go into the refurb side now, but at one point the neighbors were actually collecting stuff for us. Like, do you mind picking this up for us? And when we come over, they were even looking. I mean, they told us the story of the lady who was in there, who had passed away, how they were looking after her. Sure. And I think one thing I noticed about you as well, which you really loved as well, was the fact that both neighbors were so lovely.
Oh yes.
I mean, that I could tell that was so important for you. Don't forget, we had tea.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah.
One of the neighbors like, come in,
come and have tea.
No, let's be real though. Have you ever experienced that in London?
Of course not.
I'm not saying again. I'm not knocking off.
No. But you're being real.
I'm not knocking, because I grew up in London.
London is a big city.
I grew up there, so I know for a fact that when I was in London before I relocated.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man.
Moses, you don't have to explain.
I'm just saying, because I'm thinking myself, how many of my neighbors' house did I really, even, we just said hello, and it was kind of like, yo, okay, cool. Sometimes some of them don't even say hello.
Exactly.
Some of them, and that was one of the reasons why I actually wanted to move out, to start my family. But for this, one of the neighbors invited into their house. We sat down there, their cats, and yeah, John T, and we were like, we've not even bought you anything to say that we're a neighbor. Yeah. And this is just in the, I was like, wow. Then the other one said, come in, let me show you what I did to my house.
Yeah, I remember.
So it was beautiful. It's like, what was like, the older ones were just, we always used to see them sit down.
Yes.
We came in, and then the other one was like, okay, this is coming for tea.
Yes.
This is what told us the history of the whole place.
Yeah, which was great.
Which is great. And then the other one was like, yo, let me show you what I've done. So obviously this house needs work. We were there when they did this.
Yes.
We were there when she did, and that was so amazing. And like you said, you've been there and no issues whatsoever. And I think that's what sometimes people need to consider, that when they are in the process of buying. It's not about just, I want to live in this nice area. No, what's the neighborhood like? There's a question I always ask my client, can you see yourself living here? It's beyond what it looks like. No, can you see yourself living in this environment? Does it work for you?
Yes.
If you're in the process of having a child, does this work for your child? And for your work, your family. So we then secured the property. That was one part done. 56 days. It was like, the agents were like, Moses, okay, but we'll have another one coming up as well in case you have someone else. Now, before I jump into that, we bought it from auction. A lot of our clients that we help to buy properties, they usually buy this, mortgage. But this was an auction property that required auction fees. But we were still able to negotiate a bit lower because the bidding war started. It was crazy. The bidding war started, but we made sure we just kept you guys away. Okay, let's focus on this for you. Bidding war started, but we found a way to still get it at a decent price, knowing that it was a long-term investment. And you also knew that, okay, you know what, by the time we do what we need to do, the value will go up. Why did you still go ahead to buy the property, your first home? Because not a lot of people choose that option sometimes because they think, auction, but we checked the legal pack. We checked everything prior to even while you were thinking of we covered that part. Why did you still go ahead to buy the property even though it was an auction property?
I think the fact that we knew we're going to, whichever house we're going to buy, we're going to, freshen it up, whatever it needed. Secondly, the price was good.
Yeah.
The price was good, and I think it's important to understand the context in which that happened.
Yeah.
Everybody had money to buy a house.
Yes.
It was a seller's market. Like sellers, sometimes you call people and you call to say, oh, I want to come and view this property. They say, look, there are already 20 people ahead of you. There's no need coming.
Correct.
Before you even get there to be sold.
Yeah.
That was the trend
Yes.
at the time. So I thought the price made sense to me. And it also, ticked the other boxes we had about the area, like you said, the neighbors as well. And for someone who has lived in London for a long time, that felt good. Initially, it felt a bit, mind your business.
Yeah. I know, because they were like, it was just the viewing. It was just like, come see. And especially the younger family.
Yes.
They were just like, they were even more excited.
I know.
But if you notice though, there was something that he mentioned.
Yeah.
They didn't want the house to be empty for a long time.
I see.
And people are quite cautious of that as well. That if it remains empty for such a while, what can they attract?
True.
So I don't think it's a semi-detached house, but I don't think I want to live in an area whereby I've got a semi-detached house or a detached house and there's an empty property, because sometimes empty property can attract, certain type of activities.
Yeah, true.
So they were even more keen, like, are you buying it? Yeah, okay, cool. We're like, we just came to do the viewings.
Yeah,
So you decide, like you say, you then decide to go ahead to purchase it, which we did, and we were on fire when we did that auction stuff, because we knew that we didn't have time. There were not time, and your neighbor, one of the neighbors, was still like, "Wow, you guys got it." There was, even before we came to view it, he was telling us, "Do you know the amount of people that have come to view this house? It's a lovely home. It's this." And I was like, "This guy should become an estate agent." you must well become an estate agent, because he was like, "No, you got those 20 plus people that you saw. That's not the first bunch of people that came here. There were more before that."
Yes.
But we were fortunate enough to negotiate, help you guys secure the property. Then we did the whole thing. We got all the paperwork in place. Everything was done, and we were on time. I mean, we got the mortgage offer, everything you needed. Everything was done on time. You completed. It was brilliant. Now, on to the next bit, which you're already smiling. You're thinking, wow, okay, now let's talk about your experience of refurbishing a property. This is your first home.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to not do it yourself, but still use our service to help you refurbish? Why didn't you decide to do the refurbishment yourself?
It's the same thing. It's, it's the same thing. Let the person who is an expert in an area deal with a particular thing. Because I've dealt with refurbishing myself.
Yeah.
And I know builders are not the easiest people to deal with. And because the house we were staying in before we moved, I refurbished the house.
Yeah.
And, just from the experience, I felt there was more. You know? There was more that could have been done. Time that would have been saved. And I thought, why not just, use the service of someone who knows? Because the thing is, like in most things in life, if I'm as a software engineer, if you come to consult me about my area of expertise, I'm more likely to give you the best advice than someone who just heard about it, right?
Yeah.
You deal with housing, you deal with mortgage advisors and builders. So after the experience, you've made all the mistakes that I would have made. And that's something I'm very keen on. If someone has already made all the mistakes, they've learned all the lessons, they know the right people.
Correct.
People who will do it so you don't have to call them back to redo what they have already done, chase them around. This is just time wasting, right? And while you're wasting that time, you might think it's cheaper, but on the long run, you end up spending more than you budgeted for because you chose the wrong person. Whether it's in the UK or in my country, Nigeria, it's the same story. Like if you choose the wrong builders to get things done, you end up spending more than you budgeted for. Like it's not something I think, it's something that I know.
Yeah.
So when you find someone who is adept at what they do, just give them the contract to do it. You know, yes, the fee might seem different from what you think you would save if you do it yourself. Unless you're a builder yourself, then of course, handle it. Or unless you want to abandon whatever project you're working on and deal with it full time or make it your side hustle or your new business, then it makes sense to deal with it yourself. So you too can learn, you know, those lessons. But if you have no interest in becoming a builder, just give it to someone who knows what he's doing and let them manage it for you.
Yeah. So we got you a builder, and we actually have a story, you know, to tell about this. I mean, one thing I believe in is that people are not regardless of their profession. I always believe in going the extra mile for your clients.
I agree.
I just feel like if you're in a business, whatever you're doing, it's a life principle for me.
True.
Not everyone sees things that way, but I see it that way. Like if you're providing a service for somebody, just do what you can to go that extra mile.
True.
for the person. So we put a plan in place. We got an architect involved as well, building control, because obviously we had to start the process now of, you know, doing the refurb. You know, we had to rewire the whole house. We got an electrician in, and even like you're saying, even in that process, we had to still manage them to make sure that you can't do that. And the thing is, people in the trade, sometimes they just want to start, sometimes moving to another one, getting on. And like you said, not everyone has that energy to start chasing and say, oh gosh, man, when are you going to be back? And people are thinking, no, I don't have time. Like you said, your time matters a lot to you. It's like, listen, I don't have the time. Talk about that refurb process. What was it? How was that process for you? And what are some key lessons you learned from it?
The truth is, everyone who visits thinks it's a new building. That's how good, you know, the builder was.
Yeah.
Everyone who visits thinks it's a new building. Oh no, it's not a new building. It was refurb.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the attention to detail, the fact that the builder that was chosen was the builder that didn't just want to do the basic. You know, the funny thing is, before I even reached out to you about the project, I wanted to use the same guys that I'd used before. And
what's that one? Twice? What's that thing?
Is it twice beaten?
One shot. Yeah, one of those things. Yeah.
No, to be honest, the guys, they didn't do a terrible job. It's just that the level or the quality that I was looking for, they were not going to provide that. So the sort of conversations that I was having, and even the quotes that I was given, you just know that. And this is somewhere I want to move my little one into, my family into. I thought we should do better. But, you know, the experience was that, to be fair, I didn't have to visit the place often. So my conversation was mostly with you in terms of, okay, what's the next step? And you were actually giving me feedback, what the next step is, what you're going to do. Not just the builder who was refurbishing the house, but also, remember we had to change the heating.
Yes.
Because it was using, what do they call that type of heating?
A water tank.
Is it? No, it's not even water tank. It was electric heating.
Yes. Oh yeah, electric. Yes, it was
electric heating.
Yeah.
So we had to rewire the whole place.
Knock off the wall.
Yeah, knock off the wall. So all that. I mean, if I had to do it, that would have taken a lot of my time. It meant I would have had to be on the site, asking questions, going back and forth. And with a full-time job, that wasn't practical.
And
especially a child, exactly. A full-time job, a baby, a demanding job. No, that was like, no.
Yeah. So, and let's talk about the project now. While we're doing the project, I mean, man, you guys were such a joy to work with. You and your wife, I love it.
Yeah, you did say so.
I love how you both come in and she's like, nope, I want this, and you're like, Moses, do what she says.
Whatever you guys see. I mean, this is like even years, a year after, years after.
You think we pick on you?
You guys pick on me, man. You guys pick on me.
With holidays, like take her out, take her around the world. I take my wife on holiday, and then because we sit in our group chat,
Yeah.
and she goes, Moses, ooh, talk to your boy. He's taking me to McDonald's on our anniversary. I'm like, man, come on, bro.
Yeah,
it was so, and I'm like, yeah, don't just. Now, I started saying to her, he shouldn't just take you to like this country. He should take you to the moon. Elon Musk was like, yeah, come on board. But while that project was going on, I remember when we started, and I said from the beginning, I said, it makes more sense to knock off the wall in the middle of the house, so you get more space, and these are things that can happen to anyone doing a project. That's what you're saying about sometimes it does make sense to get someone who knows what they're doing. For me, that's how I live my life. I can't do everything.
Absolutely.
I just can't do everything. And if I see that I need something done, I'd rather pay someone else to get it done. Because all I'm thinking is, you know what? If I make a mistake, it might be even more costly to rectify it.
Sure.
But if the expert is doing that thing for me, if something goes wrong, they can come up with different alternative or options on how to fix it.
True.
And with buildings, things can go wrong.
Absolutely.
And we started, and then we had to knock off the wall, because your wife came and she's like, okay, I want to be able to stand here and see the garden. And you're like, okay. And this was a massive, thick, almost a meter wide wall. It was so huge. Took it off, and everything was all done. Even we had to help you with getting the flooring, and then it was a case that we were going to change the kitchen.
Oh,
remember that? We're going to change the kitchen, and we got a quote, and then I came to you and said, well, I have an alternative. Up to today, when I show people your kitchen, the before and after, they're like, oh, where did you get that kitchen from? Yeah. I'm like, it's the same kitchen. Guess what happened? Not too long ago, another builder asked me for the details of the guy who wrapped your kitchen. Yeah, because I brought that builder to the project. I mean, I brought quite a few people to the project, and they just could not. We got clients just by saying to them, come have a look. Just come have a look at the level of work and how we manage things. Now, I look beyond sometimes attitudes of people. We had like some back and forth with the builder, the attitude and stuff, some of the guys. But I was more keen on, let's get this done to a high standard. Because for me, it wasn't cheap. He's pouring this money, but I could see that you were willing to pay that much because from your experience, you were thinking, I don't want the cheapest, because if I go for the cheapest, what usually happen is within sometimes 2-3 months, you're thinking, oh my gosh, the whole thing is falling apart and this and that and that. But you were just like, okay, let's get this done. You were just so adamant in making sure you get top quality because you were focused on long term. So what were some of the lessons you learned from that refurb project?
To be honest, I think at the time, sometimes you need time to reflect. At the time, I thought I didn't appreciate the quality. But to be honest, when everyone who visits your home will be like, who did this? I was like, okay, I can see it now. Like when you go to other places and the finishing and the quality of the work that was done, you could tell the difference. And it's something that I wish I had appreciated more.
But I think it's because of emotion back then, because of what was happening. Yeah. Because obviously we had to kind of like get involved and say no, and there was things going on with, I remember there was a time I went on site and the floor in one of the rooms was laid, and they laid the whole thing on, and I just went in there, and they knew, I think they knew the kind of person that I was, that if it's not done properly, trust me, Moses is not having it. And I went in there and I thought, nah, don't like that. And the only way to rectify it is to take off the whole top, and the look on the face is like, I'm
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
not going on. You have to do this because he's paid for it.
Mm.
So, and I think because of the bit of the, if I call it like, I don't want to say it wasn't an argument, but it was more like some misunderstanding and miscommunication. We both understood what was going on, but sometimes what it is that people don't see things from your own lens. So it was kind of like communicating with the builder, talking to the builder and stuff. And I think at that point, a bit of emotion kicks in. It's like, okay, you know what, just fine. Meanwhile, anyone that we brought to say, yeah, come, we even brought someone from the council. Oh yeah, we brought someone from the council to have a look at it. Who's in charge of like housing? They deal with all the, with the condition of housing, and they do refurbs themselves. They came in and they were just blown away. They were like, whoa, this level of work is different.
Yeah.
And then now, when another builder that's very good comes on site and says, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then you know it's
yeah.
good.
Whenever one of our builders came on site and said, oh boy, who did this, man? What was this? No. Shake your hand like, yo, bro, this is okay. Yeah. I see what you've done here. And then another client that, we're gonna get them soon in the episode. At one point, they also came because we got them a house afterwards, and they just wanted to have an idea. And they came in. They were like, ooh, okay. We love the carpet on the stairs. Even just like, ooh, I like the carpet. Ooh, okay. I like the lights. Obviously, they saw that. They were like, okay, we're even going to go even more. We're going to do more. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that at that time, it was going well, but because of the things that were going on, like the miscommunication sometimes, even though we understood where we were coming from, but you had a builder who just saw things his own way. Yeah. It's like, this is it. Do this and, okay, pay me this. It's like, well, you've been paid. And the numbers were like, no, everything is on paper, everything's on the contract, everything is there. But they, again, emotion also kicked in. And brilliant at what they do. But attitude.
Yeah.
I learned something, I went to a men's conference recently, and they were talking about one of the traits of a good leader, competence and character. And you can't lag in confidence and competence. You can't have a you can have a great attitude, but you can't get a job done. There's no competence. You gotta have both.
You have to have both.
And that's one thing I'm very keen on. So now this was done. We rectified things, and obviously did the garden, did the whole thing. When you then moved into your home, what was that feeling like for you after going through? You purchased the home, you did the refurb. One thing about you as well is when I said to you, okay, that property, the shed at the back has got asbestos. I can't bring you in, and I can't let you bring your child in. And because you were a man of many, you listen to details, you were so keen. Okay, cool. You did a lot. There was a lot of work done into that property.
Yeah.
What was it how did he feel now moving in to your new home?
Oh, it's a privilege, It's a privilege because you're not just moving into a home. It's like you're moving into a new home. It's like a new build without the substandard.
Yes, of course, construction, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it felt like. It's like you're starting afresh. It's a new it's a young family. You feel that. Not when you're moving, things are falling apart. No, it felt good. It felt good. Great, fantastic environment. The garden,
My God, to today, that garden is amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. Even though there was still ish. That's what I'm trying to say though. And this is the thing about tradesmen sometimes, And one thing when I'm working with a builder, I always say one thing to them, and I tell them, don't focus on the money. If you're skillful, you have plenty. Like if you do the work, imagine your own family. How would they feel? And that's something that we had a conversation. And obviously the guy who did the garden, after a while, that's it. They just want to get it done, next job, and there's money, pay this. But for people in the trade. I mean, I'd love to have an episode where I have, loads of builders coming, those in the trade,
get
to have
their point of view.
to have just to hear, because obviously it's not just about them. Sometimes it's also about the client. Sometimes some clients don't pay on time.
True.
Some clients don't listen. They think they know more than the builder. So we're not saying here that builders at fault or tradesmen at fault. It's a balance of, can we work together as one to execute this, to make sure this project goes through smoothly.
Yes.
So everything was done, you moved in, you are excited, but in that process, from the conversations we were having, I want you to talk about, share your experience of how did that open your mind about property investment in itself? Because obviously your conversation then changed. At one point it's like, okay, I want to buy my home, but then it was like, we're doing this, we got investment property for your wife at the same time, and then your conversation now changed. Okay, cool. It's like we're now getting more into it. So tell us, what did that do for you in terms of like, what was the views going forward in regards to property investment?
I think it was positive, because my experience, with my first home was positive, and I could see the opportunities that property investment can, afford one. So it was positive, I would say. Although in my head, although I work full time, I also have a project that I'm working on that I want to build out as a business.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit, because the thing is, even when you invest in property, and maybe you could shed more light, when you invest in a property, sometimes if you go about it the wrong way, because if property investment, I want it to be something that manages itself.
Correct.
Because my time is limited. Even if it means getting a manager to manage it, estate agent or whatever to manage it, and I don't want to deal with it. I just don't want anything that will take my little time that I have left, But I think it's a positive thing to do, especially if you're working with people that know where to find the right property and where to have the right investment.
Correct.
Because if you get it wrong, it's not fun.
Yeah, it's definitely not fun, and I think, and the good thing now is that we've seen a lot of people get involved in property now, which is brilliant, because this is one thing I know. We live in a very small island, the UK. It's very small.
True.
It looks like it's massive, and yes, people talk about the rain. Who cares? Hey, yes, I think the UK has the best weather in the world. Yes, I said it right. It has the best weather in the world. Okay, you tell me. Okay, 1 second. Which country have you been to? Yeah. Tell me, guys, for those of you watching and listening, you tell me, write in the comment, or just give us your views. What country can you go to right now that you can experience rain, sun, snow, hailstone in one day or within a week? Please tell me a country in the world that you can experience variety of weather in one. Yes, people. Oh, the weather's a bit this. It was raining heavy. Like the rain today, I was soaked. I had to use while I was driving from dropping my kids from school. I had to turn on my heating to dry. I had to use my heating to just all right. But despite the weather, it's a country that I love myself. There are loads of opportunities here, and I have a passion to see more people get involved in property, and that's why I do what I do. And one of my other passion is to really help more people, especially those in our community as well, to get on the property ladder.
Oh yeah.
Because my view is, yes, you can decide to rent for a very long period of time, but I think when it got to me as a young person was when I calculated how much I spent renting from 2005 to 2014, and that didn't sit well with me. It just didn't sit well with me. I just felt, okay, wow, if I had somebody then to guide me and say, hey, why don't you rent? Just stay home. All this, you're working, all this money you could. It was, I think, and that was just for me, like renting rooms, by the way. I wasn't renting a house to myself.
Yeah.
I was renting a room. I started renting flats when I got married 12 years ago, but it was just from renting rooms, like in a HMO. It was about 77 grand. Because obviously the rooms I was renting, I like my space, so I'll rent the most expensive one, And so when I saw that spent about 77 grand renting for a long time, I thought, nah, I can't do this. And then I was thinking that back then I didn't even have £77,000. I thought, nah. And when it also hit me was when the flat we lived, myself and my wife, and I think that they were selling most of the flats anyway, so they were telling people to move. And I remember this family came up to us and they were like, "Are you guys moving as well?" I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Wow, the council is selling the, it was net stock where they were like they were selling the flats." Then the next when it got to me, Osita, was when the next door neighbor, because we stayed, I think we were there for like 2 or so years. It was next door neighbor.
Yeah.
His dad owned the flat, but because of the location of the flat, he came up to me and said, an English guy, he was like, "Moses, yeah, you guys are moving, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got the letter." He goes, "My dad owns this flat, but my dad has told me to move." And I was just like, "Dude, like that's your." He goes, "Nah, dad was offered cash. He was offered cash. They offered him cash. Like an investor offered the dad cash to sell. Dad said to him, 'Bro, you gotta bounce. You got to move.'" And I remember I was graduating from university then, and we were going for my graduation ceremony because everyone was excited. I got my first class, but I was excited, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, "Geez, man, we're gonna go celebrate, but I'll come back home and I'll continue. I'll start packing up and think." I never, ever wanted to experience that ever again. And for me, I was more interested in trying to see how I can get my own place, but see also what can I do to help more people get on the property ladder. Because I started seeing your home not as a liability, but as an investment. For example, your first home could be your start, it could be your stepping stone into property investment. You've now experienced the purchase of a property from auction to refurbishment, and then remember what we did as well for you. We got it valued.
Oh yes, yeah.
Come on, man, of 100 grand uplift. When the agent said, "This is the valuation of the property now," you're smiling right now. It's a good feeling.
Of course,
it's a good feeling. And from then on, obviously, you guys are now investing. You're doing more, and you're not stopping. So, as we round up, is there anything you'd like to share with those watching or listening, just to encourage them on their journey of either buying their first home or thinking of buying their first home or even wanting to get involved in the property ladder? Anything you'd like to say to our viewers?
I'll say it's because I noticed I don't know where I saw these stats that show most of people in our community 1%.
I know. I don't want to say it's low.
No, but
man.
you have to.
It's low. I understand. I'm sorry, I don't want to say, but it's the stats of especially the African Caribbean back community that own their properties is very low. It's very, very low. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think people should be open-minded. I think they should, because I know there are people that don't want to leave London, and I think some of those factors, and I can see in my personal relationship where they show Indians that do very well when it comes to property because they are willing to move outside of London. I know cases like that that I've experienced. I think people should be a bit open. I think if you can still walk outside of London, consider that. London is very expensive to buy property. Whether it's a residential property or investment property, London is pretty high depending on what your income is. I think people should consider moving outside of London. You get a bigger house for your kids to run around in. You most likely will get a garden, and you get other amenities that for a family they're essential. rather than just being in London, And I think people should also be open to the idea of property investment. Even if they have doubts, they should consult, people like you who have a passion for it. They'll get, even if it's your paid consultation, you're going to get something out of it. At least try, at least try. And some of the doubts that you might have or concerns you might have, someone like yourself might shed more light that give them insight into those concerns that they might have. But we can't have that 1%.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
Correct.
Yeah. I wish everyone the best that decides to at least try. I understand there are lots of information on the internet, lots of information on YouTube, but it actually makes sense when you're sitting down with someone. Because the first time we had that conversation is the things you said, knowing that I could trust you. Trust is very important. There's so many people on the internet talking, trying to squeeze out money from you, but haven't dealt with you, the Google reviews, haven't worked. I wouldn't be here. I know how much I spent how much we spent in that property.
Yes.
If you didn't treat me right, I wouldn't be here.
Correct.
Talking about my experience. Probably would be on the internet.
I love it.
I'll probably be creating 100 different fake Google emails to write bad review, Moses. But it's a testament to what you say. You actually do. Even if it's a consultation of 2 hours.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah, man. Osita, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your time coming to the studio to share your experience. And I'm sure those who have been listening or watching will benefit from this, and to say yes, give it a try. I like that. Just give it a try. So guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. So if you are thinking of buying a home, you want to get involved in property, you've heard from Osita, give it a try. But make sure you work with the right person that will hold you throughout the entire process. See you guys soon.